heck, man? He was so
Oh,
funny.
hey, how are you, YouTube?
Hello, YouTube.
How are you?
Hola.
We have Paige Shue.
Are you taking Shue? Like, is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah,
Cool.
for sure.
Nah, I dig it.
It's a lot easier than Björkis.
It is.
I hate spelling. We know people ask my last name, like if I'm trying to cancel something.
Yeah.
Spell your name for me.
Yeah.
It
Now
takes
wait a
like
minute.
5
Hold
minutes.
on. It's gonna be a whole new problem because they're gonna go Paige Shue and they're gonna go SHOE.
But
no.
it's half as many letters.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah, it'll take you half the time to correct
That's
people.
right.
Absolutely.
You'll still have to do it, but it'll be. Okay.
Was that a criteria when you met Grady? Where you're like, hey, what's your last name? Ah, good, short one. Yes.
Pardon,
Yeah.
pardon me,
That
Mr.
was it.
Pardon me, Mr. Shoes.
All right. So we're getting things set up. Are we live? We're on YouTube, yeah? All right. So welcome,
Hey, are we
YouTube.
live?
Thanks for joining us. We are getting things set up to record the podcast. And as you see, we have special guest, Paige Shue.
Which camera am I looking at?
This one.
You're
That
good
one.
there.
Hello.
This one. That'll be you the whole time. No, this one.
So if you have any questions for Paige,
Yeah, you're like,
here I am.
I just threw someone in the water back there.
Right, yeah.
That's an old picture.
Cold-blooded killer.
That's I'd have to ask you that question.
I got an error saying that it wasn't, but it looks like it's still live to me, but people are saying that it's not. But I still see it.
Maybe it was just a...
So Robert cut the cord when he leaned over the table.
Dang it.
All right, let's see. Did that fix it there?
All right, we're back.
Hey,
All right,
does Anthony have a microphone?
No, not yet.
I demand that Anthony have a microphone.
Broke the stream. Eric McCabe is out there.
Oh, he out there.
And he said, you know what he said?
What?
We out there.
We out there.
Or he said we out here, maybe.
Oh,
That's what he
got
said.
it.
All right, so I've got my questions. How many, do we got a lot of speak pipe questions, Anthony?
There are a bit.
All right. What is it that you want to talk about specifically, Paige, when we go? We got to talk about your wedding a little bit. We got to talk about, have you figured out your tour schedule yet?
I mean, for the most part, yeah.
Tour schedule.
Yeah.
Plans for practicing off season. Because aren't you traveling somewhere soon? You're going to be here for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for shopping with us, Jerome. It's good of you to tune in. We had a good time doing that for sure. The live shopping. Luke, we'll try not to be too loud so you don't get caught at work while you're sneakily listening. Wreck to Death's been watching The Mandalorian because he says, out here we are.
I have spoken.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
Of course not.
Okay.
Come on.
You won't
Come
You
on.
won't get that reference then.
I get all references.
You don't understand.
I have understood all references.
Yeah, right. I got to admit.
Try me.
Well, that one.
I understood it. See? One for one.
Who says it?
No, I nailed it.
Exactly.
I know. I already
You don't
nailed
know
it.
who
See,
says
Anthony knew it too.
Yeah. I really liked the little goat. That that
right.
reference?
Yes. See?
There's no goat in Star Wars.
No, I was thinking of a different reference. You're welcome.
No,
See?
I got
Anthony
it.
knows.
I got to admit, I think for Christmas I might want a little baby Yoda.
Okay, respect.
Have you watched it at all?
I've seen
Paige?
pictures of what they're talking about.
Yes.
I've seen memes.
So cute with the ears and the big eyes and his little hand stretching forward.
Okay, Bobby, but what about the fact that it's not actually Yoda?
What?
Are you one of the people that gets upset when people call it Baby Yoda?
Wait, it's not actual Yoda?
Mm-mm.
They think it's one. They think it's a Yoda species.
That in the Star Wars timeline, there's no way that could be Yoda.
Well, but they.
The baby, whatever species Yoda is.
So it's not the Yoda. It's just whatever they are.
Yeah, there's a big debate now.
Yeah, because isn't it like
Yeah, but some people were saying that they age differently. I mean, because
so it's a Benjamin Button Yoda is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, to them, a day is 1,000 years, 1,000. Oh wait, no, that's the Bible. Never mind, that's somebody else.
Eric put a face palm up there. I'm pretty sure he was talking about you and not my reference. Kidding.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I'm nearly positive.
The goat that was in Mandalorian.
Uh-huh.
I was just. We're talking. We're not even recording yet. We're supposed to be recording.
No, we don't have to be recording yet.
No, I'm disappointed that it was only a 32-minute long episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember because I watched it.
Yeah,
because I get all
I bet you
references.
did.
All right, cool.
Do I want this on? I think I want. Okay.
We're at 210 viewers right now.
Hey,
People are
what's up,
excited
210 viewers?
That Paige is on here, I guess.
Oh, show.
Yay.
I mean, they're mostly excited that.
The guys,
But
are
also
here.
that
Paige.
Paige.
Yeah, that Paige is here.
JK, we're excited to have you, Paige.
Oh, thanks.
Did you share it everywhere we needed to be shared?
I did my page and the fan page. Do you want me to do Instagram as well?
Yes.
I did my page.
Thank you. Yoda is goat. That's true, Eric. Yoda is goat. Those are the two.
See? I understood it. Bam!
It does not count.
In your face.
Does not count.
In your face.
All right, hang tight, YouTube. We're gonna get out here so we can share. We can get a few more people in here.
Pardon me, we're already out here. Disco. Okay.
What shows do you like to watch, Paige?
Well, we just started watching American Horror Story Apocalypse season with my sister.
Oh, you like that scary stuff, huh?
Yeah. I like The Office a lot.
What's up? You will be welcome here.
I like One Tree Hill, Gossip Girl as well. I'm pretty girly when it comes to my shows, for being honest.
I'm going to date myself a bit. I watched One Tree Hill when I was a senior in high school, and it was like pretty awesome.
It's a good show.
Yeah. How many seasons are they into it now, though? Like a lot.
Oh,
It's been over for a while?
Yeah. I think they had 9 seasons.
Okay. I watched like the first 1 or 2 when I was a senior in high school.
Yeah. It's pretty juicy.
Many moons ago.
All right, ready, Anthony?
Yes.
I am, yeah.
You want to go ahead and record, please, sir? All right, never mind. We are not ready.
We're almost ready, guys.
Remember, like at 20 till I said, "Hey, you got everything ready to go?" Well, I think we got everything. It's all good.
That was me. Luckily, that's not recorded, though. Nobody will ever know.
That's right. That's right. Good thing you didn't have a microphone this week.
What's the latest movie you've seen, Paige?
Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, was that good? That's
so
right.
Good. Oh,
Like you and your family went, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I love Christian Bale. Anybody who knows me,
Yeah,
I got
that's true.
20
That's
minis
true,
Dimax with his
yeah.
different roles.
But even if it wasn't Christian Bale,
Even
it's
if
still
it
a good
wasn't
movie.
Christian Bale, it was amazing.
Yeah, I heard that was supposed to be a good movie.
So good. I want to go watch it again, honestly.
Paige, can you do me a favor?
What?
When you talk, can you be about as close to the microphone as I am?
Yes. Sorry.
Raise it up a little bit so you don't have to lean down to it. Yep.
Is this better?
Yep. It
Okay.
sure is. And then Anthony, you might bump Paige just a hair.
Mike discipline.
It's called mic discipline, Paige.
Uh-oh.
Get it.
Okay.
Get it.
My bad.
You're good.
You have to learn it when you become a rapper.
That's right.
All right.
Or else people won't hear your bars.
Back in the
My
day when I
rhymes.
was a teenager, before I had status and before I had a pager.
You did have a pager though, didn't
I
you?
did.
Oh.
I actually did.
My
I
dad
remember.
did.
I remember I first got my pager, right? And I thought it was the coolest thing. And I used to work, and I worked at the Buckle, and I was walking around the floor waiting for someone to come in. Yes, I was going to bother you and try to sell you jeans, but I had the pager on, right? And the first time I had it on vibrate, the first time someone paged me,
Yeah.
and it vibrated, I jumped out of.
Ah!
I was like, "Wow!" like that. I didn't know if there was like a bee or something. Anyway, so that was my first experience. I remember all the codes that people used to send. Like I was dating my ex-wife at the time, and she would send me, what was it?
Yeah,
1
yeah,
2
yeah.
or no 1 3 no 1 4 2 or 1 for I love you. One letter, 4 letter, 3 letter, 1 4 3. Yeah.
Don't verify my Dropbox computer. I got things to do.
Anyway, all right, we good now?
Let's get it.
Now that we reminisced about pagers. Hi, and Paige, yes. Hey.
Dang.
I think your dad would appreciate that.
Yes, he would.
All right, we ready?
Hey, nice green portion of your screen there, Bobby.
Oh, we got the green screen in there?
Yep, a lot.
Oh, did you make
Look,
my little...
Look.
Oh, are you going to do the split screen,
yeah,
the 3
can you split screen us? Do you know how to do that?
I can try to figure it out.
Oh, we're going to try to do the split
need
screen. We're going to
it.
do the split screen. So, Paige, this is not normally how the show goes. We don't
Okay.
Actually, no, it kind of
Well,
is
actually,
normally
maybe
how
so.
the
Okay,
show
maybe
goes.
that's how it would. At least the YouTube portion. That's how it goes.
Missing letter says 3 inches off the mic. We tried that a little while ago, missing letter, and it just didn't do a whole lot for us. This is going to be kind of gross. My lips touch this way more often than I'd like them to.
Yeah.
Because I stay so close to the microphone.
We tried it like this, and we turned up we don't have good sound
Dampening.
That's
Yep.
the word. We don't have good sound dampening, so you can hear everything bouncing everywhere.
Yes.
So someday we'll have our own little studio, and we'll have all kinds of cool gadgets like sound dampening foam. And
Yeah. But until then, we'll just be here.
Right. Until then, we'll just
Yeah, Eric said this is exactly how the show goes. I agree.
What do you think? You got this.
We'll roll without the split screen.
You can't figure it out? You want me to show you?
Yeah, do it.
I'll show you.
I think it's important.
I think Danny's got it.
Eric, how's New York? It looked cold, but also cool.
What else did I do? Oh yeah, I was in North Carolina for the Campership Classic. I've been working on that disc golf adventure video, and it was amazing. I don't want to talk too much about it because I want to talk about it on the show, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
I had a really great time.
Where in North Carolina?
Riverdale, Randallwood.
Okay.
Randall? I don't remember.
You're not going to get a good answer out of
No.
it.
Okay.
Maybe we can look it up. Victory Junction. Is North Carolina somewhere? Anthony making last minute little deals here. Last minute deals.
Nice. Sounds good, Eric.
Really? I looked it up and it doesn't have the address on there. Someone will say it in the chat. Oh, and I had Taco Locos. No,
Okay.
Someone asked if we
So,
brought tacos for Paige. No, we
close.
did not.
Paige's frame is way wider than ours.
Well, I mean,
I don't
that
know if
makes
that's
sense.
intentional, but
What's the default one?
Yeah. Why is it? They're on the same camera, so it's going to be just because Paige is going to be.
Should I just make it 2?
you can do 3. It's just the middle one is like much narrower than.
Right, but you can't adjust individual because you're both coming from the same source. So you can't say, okay, this in this pane, make it zoom in or out, and this.
No.
Oh.
You make it thirds, and then we adjust where we need to sit.
Oh, you're saying. Oh, I got what now.
Yeah.
You're saying. I'm sorry.
It's got like a. What on earth did you do? I did exactly what you clicked on. Let's see if is there a save split screen?
Did you save the split screen?
No, the save split
It only saves per project. Doesn't save indefinitely.
screen. It's got like a weird. Are you watching the stream right now, Bobby?
I am kinda, yeah.
I see.
Like a weird thing on the right side of the screen. It's just like a cup shaking.
Oh yeah. I see that.
Oh, that is weird. What is that?
I have no idea.
what?
Look right here.
Oh, it does that anyway.
I'll be
Fix
back.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, discombobulated.
Yeah. That's
I must bring bad luck.
It's just
Yeah. What the heck, Paige?
I should just leave now.
Have you been playing disc golf at all lately, or are you just kind of chilling right now?
We played Freedom Fest last week or 2
Yeah.
weekends ago, and then we actually played yesterday. I have the itch already. You know, the season was over. I got married. I was like, okay.
And you're like, look, I'm gonna take a break.
yeah. And now I'm itching to play. I'm sad it's
Nice.
so cold here. I'm ready to start practicing.
Well, today it's like perfect.
It's nice. Yeah. We're definitely going to play whenever we get done.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm excited to play again.
Yeah, today is like the perfect day for it.
Mm-hmm. Have you been playing much?
No.
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 Good on it.
No. I played with Oakley when he was in town,
Mm-hmm.
and Danny and Anthony and all those people. That was really fun. Taco, McCabe.
Was it
everybody.
the Jones Gold round?
Yep.
How did you like Jones Gold?
I played it plenty. I like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty darn long,
Yeah.
but it's good. Like, you have to be pretty tight on your shots, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, my knee's still been bothering me a little bit, so that wasn't a whole lot of fun. Like,
Oh, what happened? Did you hurt it playing disc golf?
no, like it's just I've had surgery on it, so it's old now. Yeah, it's still wider on Pages, but we may just have to roll with it.
We'll have to go with individual switching
Sweet.
because every
I'll
time
get-
it-
Scoot closer.
This,
so it
I
doesn't
well, I
fall
mean,
awkward.
that looks. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
it's
yeah.
like adding a weird fourth panel or pane or
Oh.
something.
So maybe Paige, scoot a little bit. Yeah, scoot this way a little bit and see what that does for us.
He's just gonna switch back and forth.
Oh, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then you can sit wherever you want.
Okay, well, we
Yeah,
already got
but
No
far-
split
far,
screen
Far away from me
today.
as possible would be great.
Okay.
Thanks. I'm just kidding.
All right, here we go. All
Let's
right.
do it.
Let's hit. You already hitting record?
We are recording. Yep.
All right. Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Ranchman. I am Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, and I have with me Paige, formerly Bjerkus, now Shue.
Hello. Paige Wave.
Page Wave still
Page
says the
Wave.
same, though,
Still
even,
says,
even
yeah.
when you're married.
And Robert Wichita State McCall. We'll get into that later.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Sounds great. Let's get into that later.
all right, Paige. So you are back on the show. You're here visiting. You just had a huge event just happen in your life. You are now husband and wife with Grady Shue. How does it feel?
Amazing. I love him a lot, so this
That's
is awesome.
How did the wedding go?
Perfect. I went off without a hitch, it seemed. Actually, one of my bridesmaids tripped.
When?
I didn't get to see when she was walking down.
Oh,
You know, you
gosh.
proceed. I was in the back, so I didn't see anything.
Right.
But I'm hoping somebody got it on camera.
Like just tripped on a...
super. There were there was a little step you stood up onto. It's like the stage or whatever, the front of the room.
Yeah.
And she stepped on her dress, fell forward, and her shoe flew off.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
It was
brutal.
like a hard trip, apparently.
Oh,
But
no.
all the groomsmen came and helped her up, and everything was fine. But other than that, it was super fun. Friends and family were there, and it was just a blast.
Yeah. And then remind us where the wedding was again?
Tybee Island, Georgia.
Okay.
Which is right off of Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, I remember seeing the pictures people were posting. It looked really awesome.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And then afterwards was the honeymoon. Where'd you spend the honeymoon?
The Grand Cayman Islands.
Uh-huh.
That's
it
cool.
was so cool. It was interesting. They drive on the other side of the road, and we had to take a taxi everywhere, and it was pretty expensive. But we stayed on a hotel right on the beach. We got to swim with dolphins, stingrays, turtles, swam with some fish. We looked at some caves, and it was pretty magical.
That's awesome.
I've never been anywhere tropical, so it was
Yeah.
a cool experience.
That's cool. Awesome. Well, again, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. And, yeah. So you're back here now, working back at the store,
Yes, pulling orders.
pulling orders. Yeah. So if you want a signature from the world champion, put it in your order notes. When you place an order, you'll be here until what, like January or something like that? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Are you still going to sign Paige Bjerkes?
I'm signing Paige Bjerkes for now until I figure out what my new signature is.
Yeah,
Got a
because
lot to
you
figure out.
currently have the longest signature on planet Earth.
I know.
It takes forever.
I know. Remember at
Paige's
GBO?
signature is literally writing her name in cursive. Her full name, Paige M Bjerkes.
don't forget our PDJ number.
33833, right? Like, come
Yes.
on, man.
I remember
know.
when we had the store signing session, like not even halfway through, you're like, my arm's going to fall off.
I know. So working on a new one.
Yeah. You just
Have you been
just gotta do
practicing
some
though on
scribbling.
paper and stuff?
Yeah, I'm either just gonna do Paige Shue in cursive. That's pretty short already.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, that's better.
Or P
PS.
Shue.
P shoot.
Just like it's quick.
Let's
Shoot. Shoot.
dude, hit him with PS.
Just a PS.
Just PS.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
mean,
P.S. I love you.
Quick. I don't know yet. It's
All
a big
right.
decision, you know.
It is. No, yeah. Now, have you done now? One of the big things I hear that people get upset about is changing their last name on their driver's license and stuff like that.
Ugh, I
Have you
know.
started that process yet?
I mean, I have all the stuff ready. I just have to go do it.
You have to go do
so,
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
PBS is pretty solid as well.
Just do PBS. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
PBS?
that's actually
It-
not bad.
Yeah, but you're not Bjerkes shoe.
Could you take the PBS logo, the public broadcasting
There
system
you go.
logo?
Just get a stamp.
Yeah, it's just stamp. You could use their music. I can't remember, but anyway. All right, cool. So we're gonna catch up more with Paige throughout the show.
Hold on just a second.
What are we doing?
Eric's in on the board. He's actually in New York right now doing stuff,
New
hanging
York.
hanging with family and friends and stuff. He says, speaking of Paige's new signature, tell her I still need it for her new stamps. Get on
Hello.
it.
I
Do
know.
you even care?
I do.
I don't know.
I know.
I'm not sure.
I'm on it.
Does that make the other ones worth more? Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
I hope
Lim-
so.
Limited edition.
Limited edition.
Dang.
Y'all better buy them up before they're gone.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So yes, Robert, Wichita State McCall. Before we started the podcast, Robert was telling me that he went to Wichita State to watch some basketball.
Yeah, Shay's boss over at BLI is a big-time Wichita State supporter, and he has unbelievable tickets. They're on I think we were on the fourth row, pretty much at half court. And then with those tickets, you also get into a place called the Champions Club, which, I mean, I've never been a champion before, so it was nice to step in and be like, wow, I'm a champion.
Right.
But they had free food in there. They had salmon and chicken, both of which were fantastic. The couple that we went with, the guy got 3 servings of salmon because he was so impressed by the salmon.
Really?
Dang.
Yes. It was very good. But then they had apple crisp on the end. I went to town on the apple crisp. Couple of servings, overate a little bit. It was fantastic. So yeah. Anyway, that was pretty much what we did on Saturday. Is go to that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I spent the weekend in North Carolina, undetermined what town it was because I don't remember. It's Rivendell or Rivendell. That's from
Riverdale.
That's a show.
Yes.
Riverdale's a show.
Somewhere
Riverbend.
Randallwood.
I don't think it's Randalldale.
Just throwing out nonsense.
Anyway,
at this point.
it was in
Sandals, Jamaica.
yeah. Everybody, all inclusive, the whole town.
Yeah. It's all inclusive. So.
No. So anyway, I spent some time in North Carolina at Victory Junction at the Campership Classic. It was amazing, guys. I don't know if you know much about that tournament or the Victory Junction facility out there, but it's basically a camping ground for sick children. So what it's not like your normal campground where it's kind of rustic looking or whatever.
Terminally ill children, by the way, not just like, all right, I have a cold. Like
well, yes, very, very sick.
Yeah,
very sick children.
serious
Seriously
illnesses.
sick, serious illnesses. But it's not like a campground where you're gonna have log cabins and stuff. It literally looks like. I don't know if you've ever been to Branson or any other little amusement park, but it's like a mini amusement park. It's really awesome. But what makes them unique is that their facilities are set up to be able to take care of kids and let kids have fun where they normally wouldn't at another campground. So like they have a tower where you can climb up it, but they've made it wheelchair accessible. So they have special equipment so that the people in wheelchairs can go up it. The pool that they have, of course, has a lot of cool fun things in it, but their pool actually warms up so that kids with sickle cell won't get hurt by the cold water. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing stuff like that.
Missing letter says Randleman, North Carolina.
Thank you so much.
He had to Google it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And like they had an archer. Inside they had little archery targets, and they have specifically built these special stands so that if they weren't strong enough to hold the bow, they could sit it on the stand that they created, and they could actually shoot.
That's so cool. It seems like they've really been considerate, thoughtful in everything
they've
that
thought
they've
through
done.
everything.
That's super cool.
And it's a 9-week program, goes through the summer, and kids come from, I believe they said Sunday through Thursday. Then they clean it all up, and they get ready for another group of kids. It's just really cool. Oh, and the other cool thing that I thought is that, so for every week, the kids that come there, they have something similar, a similar illness. So that they feel like they're like, oh, I'm not the only one with this illness.
Cool.
And so anyway, I'm putting together a disc golf adventure vlog, and you'll learn more about it. So make sure you stay tuned here on YouTube.
It sounded like it was pretty moving too.
Oh, it was.
Just to get. I mean, like, cool that we get to play disc golf there. Cool that they're raising money for that sort of thing.
Yes.
But to get to see in person, like somebody who cares and is doing something for kids who. They're having a tough time, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of they had during the player meeting, they had 2 families come in and talk about the impact that the Victory Junction has on their lives, and they said to have their kids that are normally hooked up to tubes, spending most of their lives in hospital or going to doctor's appointment, they get to spend a week feeling like a regular kid and having fun.
Yeah.
And then the parents are like, it's kind of a little break for them, so that the kids can go have fun. They know the kids are being taken care of, and it's all completely free for the kids and for the family. I mean, it's just amazing. Just really cool stuff. So
cool.
Anyway, you'll learn more on the Disc Golf Adventure vlog. So, yeah, that's what our weekends were about. But now let's get into some questions, and then we'll get into some other stuff to learn more about Paige. See, I'm calling it. I got to get used to it. Paige.
It's unacceptable, Bobby.
Paige Shue.
Nice. PBS. It's going to stick.
All right.
Paige Shue. Going to find out what she's doing in the off season and then what her plans are for 2020. But first,
sounds like you're
get
trying to
questions.
edit yourself from saying a cuss word when you say that.
Bashu.
Like, I don't know.
You son of a Bashu.
well played. Well played.
Yeah, like that. All right. So let's go to Google Forms first. Let's get a couple questions. This is from Hebar. I've been trying to improve my form by focusing on driving with the elbow, and have noticed that discs like my stable T-Bird and Thunderbird are flying much straighter, while keeping my shoulders perpendicular to my target and bringing the disc into the power pocket while driving with my elbow. Does the elbow then straighten past the body, or does it straighten in the power pocket, or does it vary? Thanks for all that you do. What do you guys got for him?
Can you say that one more time?
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
She's just trying to visualize here if you're not looking at it.
I've been trying to improve my form by focusing on driving with the elbow, and have noticed that discs like my T-Bird and Thunderbird are flying straighter, while keeping my shoulders perpendicular to my target and bringing the disc into the power pocket while driving with my elbow. Does the elbow then straighten past the body, or does it straighten in the power pocket?
I would think past the body.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Because if you're moving like forward with it,
Yeah.
it's going to like extend out, but keeping it like in line with the target.
Gotcha.
Right.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the farther, if your elbow started to extend while you're still in the power pocket, then like you're taking the disc a little bit more off plane, right? So where it has been going straight, now it's going out a little bit. Whereas if it straightens out once it's past your body, then you're able to keep that disc a little bit more on plane all the way through.
Gotcha. There you go. All right, next one comes from Jack. He asks, I was wondering if there is a specific way to throw a hyzer flip, or is it mostly depending on the disc?
Wow. I'll talk about that one. I've actually been working on hyzer flips, kind of one of the weaker parts of my game. And right now, for me, it's kind of the disc. I mean, for me, I'm just trying to find something a little flippier and just throwing it with hyzer, just to kind of get a feel for how it's going to flip up and what that feeling's like, because it is a lot different than a hyzer. I know for me, when I'm throwing a hyzer, I'm kind of going from like down to up mostly to get that hyzer flight. While I'm trying to do a hyzer flip, I try to maybe keep it closer and not as up, more direct, so that you get that push forward on a hyzer, and then it flips up a little bit later.
There you go. Nice. Speaking of
pushing it out, I think is pretty important there.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that you're working on, is there any, I guess it's found out that you're working on that. Is there anything else in your game that you're kind of working on in the off season? You know, taking advantage of not having to travel so much and play all the time.
Growing your hair back out. So.
Right.
Yes.
It's
That.
looking ravishing, by the way.
Thank you. Forehands are always something I'm working on. Last season, I worked on them in the off season, but still wasn't quite ready to throw them off the tee. You know, if I needed an upshot, I felt a lot more confident than I did before. But this next off season and my experience with it this year, I guess I'm ready to start putting it to the test during the tournaments. You know, the only way you're really going to grow is if you try it during the tournament, which kind of sounds bad, but at the same time, you got to grow. And that's the best way to do it. You know, trying it in the field is awesome, but let's say you're up by one stroke with a couple holes to go. You know, that's when you're really going to put it to the test and see if you fail or succeed, and then you go from there.
What disc are you throwing when you're practicing your forehands?
Forehands. Right now, trespasses are doing pretty well because they're kind of flippy. So I'm trying to learn not to force it over.
Good.
I know it's a lot, and having a force over forehand kind of is helpful for some shots. Definitely a utility shot.
Yeah.
But I'm really trying to do something a little slower, something a little flippier, so I get the flat release and I kind of let the disc straighten out instead of me having to force it over.
Yeah. That kind of the same thing goes for hyzer flips on forehands and backhands, is that you want the disc to do the work for you, but the first thing you have to do is commit to that hyzer angle. If you're trying to force the disc up to flat while you're throwing, a lot of times that's not going to do much for you. Yeah. You have to commit to pushing it out either on the forehand or backhand and then letting that disc work.
Excellent. Well, I want to welcome, we have a lot more viewers than we normally do, and I want to welcome those YouTube viewers. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.
Make sure you tune in every Tuesday around 2-ish.
Most of the time, pretty close to 2. Today, a little bit different.
So, tune in on YouTube around 2 o'clock Central on our YouTube channel. Or if you want to listen to this later, you can always go to your favorite podcast app, look for the Disc Golf Answer Man, and just download it and then subscribe so you always are notified when we put down. We're going to put it down. When we always upload a new episode, especially some of our new stuff like On the Call with Robert McCall. I told myself not to say that because I don't want people to think we're rhyming it. Anyway,
it's all good, man. We're out here.
Yeah, we have our new On the Call. We're going to have some other new things coming for 2020, so make sure you are subscribed. Hey, Anthony, let's go and let's see if we can check out.
You also need to subscribe to YouTube because we're doing giveaways here on YouTube if you're subscribed to our channel. Where are we at,
by the way, on that? I have to look.
We have 44.5 just as a quick look here. So
So
climbing
we're
up a little
next to the
bit.
next one.
But if you guys who are watching right now haven't subscribed, we're doing giveaways at every 1,000 up to 50,000 subscribers. So hop on that train.
Woo, woo. All right, let's try some speak pipe. Anthony, what do we got? This sounds like it's going to be loud. Or nothing at all.
Hey, guys, I got 2 real quick questions for you. Number 1... A few years ago, I got a DGA pipeline, I think in their Proline plastic, as a tournament disc. I was told it would fly like a T-bird, and it is absolutely nothing like that. I can hyzer flip it, and it'll ride to the right a little bit before coming back more or less toward the middle. And I found that I really like having that shot in my bag. So I was wondering what you guys might have in the Trilogy lineup that most resembles that mold. And number 2, what would it take to get you guys and Danny out to Beaver State Fling next year. I think it would be awesome to see you guys out here, whether you play in the tournament or not. So, do we need to have a GoFundMe site or something?
Yes.
What do we need to do? Thanks, guys.
All right, Anthony, go ahead and unplug the field recorder from your computer, and that's what's going to give us.
Yeah, sorry for that feedback.
Going to get what's giving us
Guys.
that weird noise. We still recording? All right, you might want to plug it into maybe Danny's computer or something because the battery might not last that long. All right, so to his question, what say you, professionals?
So you're talking about a disc that is kind of similar to a T-Bird and then one that you can also ride to the right. So what do you throw for something like that?
For me, it's my Fusion Getaway.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of beat in. I like lightweight stuff, so mine is about 169, 170, and it's Fusion Burst. I've had it for a while, but exactly what he said. I mean, I can throw it pretty hard, and it has a little bit of right turn. It has a little bit of right fade, but then always kind of comes back in the middle. And I've been using that disc for the last year. I won Worlds with it, and it's very reliable. And it's just the shot you described is exactly what the Getaway does for me.
Yeah, just nice and straight, finish to the left a little bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, then what do you do when you're trying to throw something straight that works to the right a little bit?
Yeah, I'm liking the Vandal for that.
Yeah.
The Vandal's really nice. It's a little less overstable than a Getaway, and it does have that like kind of right carry. And I don't have to throw it hard to have it do that, and I don't have to throw it soft either. I mean, it's usually just kind of whatever power I put on it, it does it. What really matters is, I guess, the distance for it.
Yeah.
So those would be my two recommendations.
Nice. Yeah, I think the Vandal is one that if you haven't tried them out at a Trilogy Challenge, that's a great disc for that shot. I'm throwing the Escape for that shot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just something that's easy to turn up to flat and then ride to the right. Or if you throw it like pretty slow, 60-ish%, you can just throw it really, really super straight and it'll glide for forever. But I throw the Explorer kind of in that T-Bird spot that you're talking about. I also throw the Getaway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just some really good options there. We do have a lot of good fairway options that I think people should check out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, as far as getting us to Beaver State Fling or any
Beaver
other
Stakes Fling.
yeah,
rare-
that needs to be a tournament. Beaver Steaks.
The rare delicacy,
wait.
Beaver Steaks. Ooh, no, yeah.
Poor
that's not-
beavers.
sorry,
Aw.
beavers.
Of course, I eat steaks and cows are. Yeah.
I mean, I do like steak.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. So, to get us to go to a particular event, it depends on the event, and we'll just have to see what happens. Hopefully, I'll be able to get to. Is it okay if I just come? Because I
No.
like going to those big events.
No, but I will join you.
I would like to go to Beaver State Fling because I've never been for sure. All right, Anthony, let's go ahead and check out the next Speak Pipe question.
This one is from probably the real Jay-Z.
Oh, the
Probably
real
the real
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Confirm, but I'm gonna
Well, I've heard he throws plastic every now and then. So.
Hey, what's up, DeGam fam? This is Jay from Charlotte. Thanks so much for everything you guys do. Love the show. I just have a question about the pine. Wondering if you guys are going to come out with any other more basic plastics for the pine, because I'd love to have it do some more things because I love the feel. And another question, or another shout out rather, or thing to say, would be that Chris Baker, Team Westside, he is the man. I don't know who makes the decisions on who to be the ambassadors, but you guys made the right one. He's been a really awesome resource for me, and just submitted a video to him, and he's given me feedback, and he's a recent winner of the Disc Golf for Down Syndrome tournament, and congrats, Chris, and keep it up, guys. Love the show. So thanks a lot. Bye.
Awesome. Different plastics for the pine. As far as I know, that's not in the works right now. We have the VIP. I don't think that we have tournament plastic in those yet.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what that's going to look like moving forward. We'll see on that. But then about Chris Baker, have you interacted with Chris very much?
No.
He's a bro. I'm just
Yeah,
going to
he's a
tell you
bro.
right now.
He's a good guy.
Just doing a lot to grow disc golf in his area, and I agree with you. Great pickup for Westside. He's doing great stuff for the brand, and we're excited to have him on board for sure.
Excellent. All right, let's get one more question from the Google Forums. There's no name in there. Whoever it is, asks, I've been playing for about 7 years now. I found a really big hyzer. It formed a really big hyzer release on all of my backhand shots. It's so bad that even a Mamba is overstable when new. What in the world can I do to get my form back to a nice flat release? I'm almost to the point of giving up the sport. Dude, don't. Maybe that's why he didn't put his name.
Stop it.
You want people to know he's given up. Because then I cannot throw like that anymore. Don't give up. In fact, this morning when I was going to the gym, and I was feeling it because I ate a lot of junk food over the weekend. There's somebody that has a yard sign in their yard. And that's
Novel idea.
But that's all it says is don't ever give up. That was for you, person who didn't put their name. Don't ever give up. Who shall remain nameless.
That's right.
Anyway, so what can he do to help out his form?
Man, I imagine he means, okay, so he's throwing hyzer, so maybe he's dropping his shoulder a little to
Maybe, yeah.
come up. Man, I guess start, that's tough. So try to keep your body straight, number one, and maybe start with putters. Maybe try standing still and just trying to let go as flat as you can. Just working your way up, working those putters, because those putters will show you what you're doing wrong, or mid-ranges even, just working on those slower speeds. And just, I guess, be intentional. I mean, even if you need to not reach as far back to start or just doing standstills, just really focus on your wrist and your shoulder and make sure you're not pulling down to up when you're doing the hyzer, just keeping your wrist as flat as possible.
Yeah. I would also say you might be bending over at your torso a bit much too. Not only just dropping your shoulder, that could be a problem as well. Mm-hmm. But if you tilt over too much at your torso, that's going to start everything like tilted over. I mean, your disc is going to be on hyzer whenever whenever you're bent over that much. So it may be worth just standing up a little bit more and then slowing down, just so that, like Paige said, if you're throwing putters or mid-ranges, slower discs, you can see what angle they start out on, and then you can manipulate that a little bit better. So even if you start throwing something harder on hyzer and maybe you're flipping it over now because you're rolling your wrist, you're going to see that a lot more in putters than you are in drivers. Like, you're going to see that wobble and see that you need to keep the disc a little bit more on plane. But just try standing up a little bit more and see if that helps you a little bit.
Paige, so far I've only seen Paul Macbeth post his tour schedule, and I'm sure other touring pros are working on their schedule. So have you started the process, you and Grady, looking at what different events you're going to attend?
Yeah, we actually printed out the A tier and above schedule. Was that yesterday? I think yesterday, and kind of went through our initial thoughts. Mostly the NTs and Pro Tours for right now. Really trying to maybe take it easy. I know this year, I guess technically, we played a lot of tournaments, kind of overwhelming with that and planning a wedding, and just, we had an issue with the van. It was just kind of a crazy year. So I think we're trying to calm it down a little. And for right now, I think we're just committed to the NTs, Pro Tours, a couple A tiers here and there. But really just trying to practice more, Let's say we don't play an A tier a week. We'll get to the next the tournament that's 2 weeks away, practice the course and really work on that field work, and just enjoying ourselves out on the road. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up on the disc golf. You got to be practice, which obviously is important, but we're just kind of trying to enjoy the experience as well.
Anything new for 2020 that you didn't do in 2019, or maybe it's been a few years since you played?
Man, I'm excited to play Texas State's.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And Tyler. Mm-hmm. My mom and dad have played the Piney Woods Open, and they love it. And mom's always like, go back, go play there. We never are going to miss it. So I'm excited to play that.
You like playing in the woods pretty well, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm best in the woods.
Yeah. The gold course there is... It's a great woods course.
I'm very excited. That one and the Music City Open, not looking forward to that one as much because it's so long.
Just got to work out a little between now and then.
I know.
Hit the weights.
Right. And then there's an A tier in October called the Myrtle Beach Open in South Carolina.
Oh, nice.
And Grady's family already has like a beach house there. Yeah. So I think we're going to try to stay there. Hopefully my parents can come down, and we'll be playing that A tier to like end the season on a happy note at the beach and, just playing some fun disc golf.
They need any video work done out there at Myrtle Beach?
Oh, yes.
I mean, maybe.
Probably so.
Right?
Yeah.
Bet you they'd be able to hire someone who is already out there.
Why?
Wait, what?
Why would you suggest
Wait,
that?
what was that? Sorry, man.
All right, let's get back to the questions. What do you got for us, Anthony, on Speak Pike? Pike.
Speed Pike.
I don't know why. I wish they would change the name just for me.
From who, Anthony? Sean.
Shaun of the Dead?
Hey there, Disc Golf Answer Man. This is Sean from New Jersey. So I realized after a little over 2 years of playing that I need to back off the faster discs. I got a breakout at a tournament, and I realized that I can throw it pretty much as far as my 13-speed drivers. And my question is for recommendations on discs to throw in the trilogy. As a little fill-in, I have a Maverick, a Breakout, a Hatchet, and a Renegade in my bag. I was thinking about picking up the Getaway and the Felon, but I'm wondering if there's any others in like the low-speed drivers to fairway drivers that you would recommend me throw to kind of fill out my bag. I have a couple of I have two Emacs, two Emat Truths, and a Tursis for my slower discs to kind of fill out my my mid ranges. So I'm really trying to fill out my fairways or low speed drivers. Anything you guys could recommend would be awesome, and I really appreciate everything you guys do. Thanks again. Bye.
What would you suggest, Paige?
Man, he's got already a bunch of discs.
I
I'm
know.
surprised he's asking for more. But I have a recent addition into my bag, and that is the West Side Sear.
Oh.
I'm throwing it in the TP plastic, and it goes really straight. It reminds me a lot of the Maverick. Maybe just a hair straighter. I guess it depends on the run, because some Mavericks I've thrown are like nice and flippy, I guess, and some are a little more stable. So the Sear would be a great one. It's slow, it's straight, and it's easy to throw. I don't have to throw it very hard to get it to flip up. So maybe if you're trying to work on some finesse or kind of slowing down or just trying to work on that form, that might be a good addition.
Yeah, that's a good one for sure. I would say if you already have a Hatchet in the bag, then you might not try the Escape, but that would normally be my suggestion there. If you're liking those kind of slower to hybrid kind of speed discs, that's a great one to try out. If you are looking for something a little bit straighter that is going to finish left, I would probably try the Getaway before the Felon, or either one of the Explorer, the Getaway before the Felon, because you're going to be able to get just a little bit more flight out of it before it dives left on you. The Felon's pretty overstable, and if you're having trouble getting speed 13 discs up to speed, the Felon really is just kind of dive left on you a lot. So yeah, I would definitely look at the Sear. That Maverick's going to be your best friend, and then try one of those Explorer Getaways, see which one you like.
Excellent. Just a quick reminder, guys, that we have a lot going on in the winter months for disc golf. We have the Winter Marksman League that registration has already started for that. I believe that you can start the league December 1st.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, December 1st you can actually start playing in the league. So make sure you go to dynamicdisc.com/WML to find out if there's one in your area. If there's not, make sure you look for the details to sign up for one, because they are fun times. The other thing we have is Veterans for Vets. That is a special event program we have going on to raise money for veteran organizations in your area. We're playing ours. We're doing ours a week earlier than normal than what's stated on the website, but that's also December 1st. We can start playing that. But we are playing one here in Emporia, and I get to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to play this
When is it?
weekend.
This
weekend,
coming?
Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll be here back. I'm going on a little trip to visit some family, and I'll be back on Friday to practice and then go play on Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice.
Um,
One other thing we have going on is GBO registration has begun already. A lot of divisions are open. It has begun. A lot of divisions are open already, but tonight the ratings cap is lifted off of the NT side of the GBO. So if you're rated 1,000 or lower on the men's side and 900,
is that tonight?
900 or lower on the FPO side, that cap is going to be lifted tonight, so you can start signing up for that. And then if you haven't signed up already and you're trying to go to the GBO, you need to get on it now, because sooner or later, if your division hasn't already filled, it will. So get on it. You will not regret your decision to come to the Glassbone Open.
Yes, we're already at 1,290 spots.
Come on, man.
Filled
Oh
already
my
on
God.
the A
Come on,
tier
man.
side, so you better get in while you
That's
can.
just on the A tier side?
Just on the A tier
Wow,
side.
okay, cool.
So glassblownopen.com. Oh, and we are working on the Glassblown Open mobile app. There is a slight delay because this one's going to be a little bit different this year. We're going to have the information for the Glassblown Open, information for Texas States, and then eventually information on Junior World. So it's going to be a packed mobile app.
Dang.
So I want to jump back a little bit, Paige, to the question we just answered. And you had mentioned that you're trying out the Westside Disc Sear.
Yep.
How does that happen? Do you just start talking to people and they're like, man, Paige, you should try this out, or you should do this? I mean, how do you decide, I'm going to give that disc a try?
Okay, well, the Sear is a funny story.
Oh, good.
We had just picked up a team player. Grady and I were heading out to a tournament, and Taco was like, hey, can you bring this bag to Jared stole at the
Yeah,
time.
right.
Yeah. And so we took his bag, and I guess the sear fell out. And we're cleaning out Grady's car. And I was like, oh, the sear, this feels nice. And so I just kind of took it out on a casual run. I was like,
nice.
oh, this is awesome.
Oh, wow.
So you just stole it.
Kind of. Sorry, Jared.
Nice.
That was probably the disc that would have taken you
Right.
to win all of your tournaments, but now Paige has it. So sorry. Sorry, Jared.
No, but usually, honestly, when, this past year, we did a lot of in-store signings and trying to go to retailers and stuff. And, when you're passing time, you feel everything. So I just like to look through, and if I feel like something feels really good and I haven't tried it yet, I'm like, okay, well, I can give this a try. But sometimes, like team players will be like, hey, Paige, have you tried this? And I'll be like, no, and I'll try it out. So it just kind of depends.
So lesson learned: if you want Paige to try something, to just throw it at her feet and just until maybe she'll go, oh, okay,
Yeah, but act like it's yours and not hers.
right. So if I bake like some cookies, oh, here you go, Paige, and then she'll try them. Yeah. Is
Hey,
that
good new recipe, Bobby. Those were mine. How dare you?
All right, let's get back to the questions. Let's go to the Google Forms. We have one from either Jesse or Yessie.
It might be a soft J.
Right, so depending on where they're from. What up, fam? So I'm a bit odd in that I almost exclusively use the turbo putt for anything.
Oh, wow.
Anything was inside 50 feet. I'm confident in it, and at this point, I don't see any reason to change. Do you guys think it would be wise to work on a conventional putting style, or should I stick with what works for me? Lastly, have you guys come across a professional that exclusively turbo putts? Thanks for all you do. Well, Yessie, aren't you a professional? So that would be
Yessie.
you.
Gosh.
Yessie, let me introduce you to Jesse, who exclusively turbo putts.
He's also a professional.
He's also professional. All right, so yeah, so do you guys see a problem with only turbo putting? Like only?
Maybe I mean, if it's a wide open shot, that's fine. But let's say you got a low ceiling or something like
Yeah.
that, and you want to give it a decent run.
Yeah.
We can't make everything, but I would learn, a spin putt or, a normal putt. It wouldn't hurt. The more shots you have in your bag, the more opportunities you have to score, I guess. So I'd recommend if you have the time and, I don't know. I would recommend it. Turbo putts are super cool, though. And again, if you're confident in it, stick to it. But having it as like a utility shot basically would probably be pretty helpful.
Yeah, I think there's something to what you said about the ceiling, right? So if you're putting from a normal, just like pitch putt or spin putt stance, and there's something kind of tall in front of you, most of the time you can just kind of pitch the disc over it. If not to make it, at least to get close. So you have that utility as well as you can kind of send it under a low ceiling or something.
Mm-hmm.
But with the turbo putt, you can definitely still go over that thing. But with a low ceiling, other than like taking a knee or getting on the ground, that disc has to go up somehow.
Yeah.
So when you start it so high in relation to your body, it's just hard to get the height that you need in that low ceiling situation. So having both would be cool. As far as a pro who exclusively puts turbo, I do not know of any that do that. I do know that Johnny McRae is a fantastic turbo putter and will use it in certain types of windy situations, as well as just like when he's feeling it. If you want to see an incredible turbo putt, go to YouTube, type in Johnny, not right now because we're on.
Yeah, don't
We're
leave.
live. Cut it out. Okay, but anyway,
No wonder our viewership goes down. Robert
go-
sends everybody away.
Sorry, guys. 5 stars. Anyway, go to YouTube, type in Johnny McRae Renaissance Park. I believe it's hole 18, and he throws in like
So cool.
it's seriously the
So cool.
craziest turbo putt I've ever seen in a lifetime. I do not want to spoil it for you. Just know that it's incredible. So go check that video out. Do it.
Awesome. All right, Anthony, let's go back to Speak Pipe. What you got?
Looks like it's from the same guy, Sean.
Sean.
Same Sean.
It looks like it's spelled the same.
It looks like it. He
Might
can
be-
see you through the
Might be
computer.
JC again.
Might be JC again.
Hey, DeGan fam, Sean from New Jersey again. I completely forgot I had a second question. So I'm gonna get a cart for Christmas this winter, and I'm trying to figure. I have a commander bag, but my buddy got a cart, and he had to go back and buy he had a commander bag as well. He had to go back and buy a Ranger bag to fit the cart. So my question is, I know there's a new cart out, the LG Zuka, I think, and it's supposed to hold more. My question is, will that Zuka cart that you guys have listed on your website, will that be able to hold the commander bag, or will I have to buy a new bag? Anyway, that's just my question. Thank you guys for everything you do. Have a good day.
You'll have to buy all our bags.
You have to try one of each
Yeah.
just to test them out. Do not return them.
And do not tell them I said this.
Thank you very much. The LG cart will fit pretty much any bag that you can imagine in it. It is a little bit wider, and maybe a little bit taller. Definitely wider though.
Is it a baller?
Yeah,
And if it had a girl, would it call her? Okay. Anyway.
20-inch blades on them. Anyway, okay. So I would say the LG cart will fit pretty much anything. The regular cart, you can fit a Commander in there. I know from experience because I've done it. However, you lose some of the side pocket stuff, like the big kind of open side pockets. You lose access to those. It's just not the ideal cart for it, I think, or the ideal bag for it. I think the Ranger fits best in there. But if you get an LG cart, you can pretty much put any bag in there because it's massive.
I know some people
like a tank.
will buy like used bags, so they'll have their cart that has the bag that stays in there permanently for when they're using a cart. But then when they know they're not going to take a cart, they can grab their other bag and
That's
take
what
it
I
with
do.
them. So yeah,
I have an old H2O that H2Os don't really fit in the
No, you
standard
gotta really
cart.
shove it in, there.
But yeah,
and then it's stuck in
I
there.
got it. I got it in, and then like the top wouldn't close, so I just sat on it a bunch until it would.
Oh my God.
Not recommended, but that's what my cart is.
That's awesome. All right, what do we got next coming up, Anthony? Slater.
Oh,
Dude,
that's
AC
cool.
Slater.
Yeah,
Dang.
from Saved by the Bell.
Yes. Good reference. See.
Hey to Gam fam, this is Slater up in Montana. I'm leaving a speak pipe this week because I think Bobby missed me by accident a couple of shows ago. He was about to play my clip and then remembered he forgot the second half of the guy before me. I got skipped, so hope I make it on this time.
I never do
Hate to
that.
see it, Slater.
Anyway, I played my first tournament ever in April this year and got so excited about the sport, playing with the club and playing sanctioned events. I think I finished with 11 by the end of the year. Last month I got 5th out of 14 in the club championship, won most improved player. Such a good feeling. I've got a goal for next year of getting to 900, and listening to your show and consuming all the great DD content from Danny and the crew has been, and I'm sure will continue to be, a huge part of my improvement. So thanks a million. And I finally got my hands on a truth thanks to the script I won at the Farragut Open. So thank you for sponsoring that event, sending the truck out, really cool. And also the new On the Call is awesome. The insight from the pros and the mental side of the game is really cool to hear. And all that being said, I do have a question, which is, will I be seeing any of you at Worlds in Utah when I drive down next year? Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. As always, keep it real.
All right. Well, I will get to the. Well, that was the only question, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you were mad about that I skipped. That was no, I'm teasing.
This guy.
Dang, savage.
I'm
Wow.
teasing. I'm kidding.
Wow.
We don't even have the keep it real glasses on the table. Bobby's
I'm
just,
kidding.
He's out here.
Kidding. That's why I'm kidding.
Yeah,
It's
nice.
Madonna's Vogue.
Yeah,
and
I was
I'm
gonna say you
kidding.
began voguing when
Yeah.
you were kidding. Okay, good for you.
That's Madonna was kidding when she did that.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that was her whole thing. I'm
I
kidding.
knew it.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for the
you
$1.99
saw a different video than I did.
chat. Super chat from Tucker. He says, "Love what you guys do. Keep up the good work." Thank you so much, Tucker. We appreciate
Thanks,
that super chat. So I know I mean 99% will be at Pro Worlds. I typically get to go to Pro Worlds to do all the media stuff. I would assume that Paige will be there as well
Yes.
to compete.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. As far as Robert going, I'm not sure what the dealio is.
I don't want to confirm anything that isn't confirmed, but there is a very good chance that I will be there in a capacity at the same as which I've been at lots of other worlds
Oh, okay.
doing commentary.
Oh, commentary. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I thought you were gonna say like playing. I'm like, what?
I know.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was like,
going to
"Whoa."
try my hand at playing disc golf again.
And you're
Decided-
just gonna Pro Worlds is gonna be your.
That's my one
your-
tournament for the year.
yeah,
I'm going to go just win Pro Worlds.
right.
Yeah. With my just over 400 max distance, bad knees, definitely going to win.
Nice.
So
Yeah, believe in yourself.
yeah, I believe in myself, but I'm also realistic. So I'll just be talking about people who do believe in themselves.
So, what are your thoughts on playing Utah for Pro Worlds, Paige?
I'm pretty excited. Number one, Utah's beautiful,
Yeah.
and I love it so much. I played the Utah Open for the first time last year, so 2018, and I loved it. I'm excited for the new course. I know there's a wide open one and a wooded one, and I watched some coverage of Utah Open this year where they played it. It was a little funky. I feel like, it was the first kind of big tournament on it, so I'm sure they'll clean it up a little bit. But I'm excited, it's a combination of a wide open with the golf course and the tight woods, and I think that's the best place to have Worlds, a combination of both. So I'm super excited for the views, the courses, and trying to win again.
Do you tend to take discs in and out or change your bag completely when you play in a tournament where like that, where it's like wide open and then a tight course? Do you do much change in your bag?
Nope. I just use half the bag for
Yeah.
one course and half the bag the other. You never know when you're going to be in a sticky situation, so I never like to like put discs away for a particular round. You just never know.
Yeah. Do you ever do that for maybe wind or anything like that, or?
I might put a new like discs in,
Uh-huh.
like more stable stuff if I know it's going to be windy. But that's really it. I'll just put in like some overstable enforcers if I know I'm going to have to be dealing with some wind. So.
Do you typically have a pretty full bag? I mean, I know some people have like the main compartment, then they have a couple discs on top and then a few discs on the side. Is that you, or are you pretty conservative?
I just fill up the main slots.
Yeah.
I have quite a few discs in my bag. Typically, though, during a round, I don't use them all. It's pretty rare. I usually end up using the same 5 or 6 molds. It's just what I'm comfortable with, and I kind of know those discs the best. So I always have some in there for backup, just for utility shots. But I just have the typical amount.
Awesome, cool. All right, let's get back to Google Forms. Yes,
We got a super chat from Ace Run Productions, $9.99. Felix is always dropping just super chats.
like
on
it's
us.
hot.
We appreciate that, man. He says, "Congrats, Paige."
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I think that's what he would have said. Please stay tuned to our channel for reviews of The Vandal Suspect and a getaway review featuring Jordan Castro coming soon. Be dynamic. Ace Run, we appreciate that. If you guys haven't subscribed to our channel, do that. But if you haven't subscribed to Ace Run Productions, they are always supporting disc golf, putting out coverage, disc reviews, all that stuff. So you need to go check them out.
All right, this one comes from Tim. Can you y'all, talk about how the diameter of a disc affects its flight? And does Trilogy have any large diameter discs? We used to have one that was a large diameter.
That one.
We used to have the Fugitive that was rather large.
Oh, that was large.
So
The Fugitive? I remember it being like a pretty large diameter.
our mid-ranges are pretty much all the same diameter. They're all kind of that slightly wider diameter, where you can get up to 180 grams on the weight. But as far as like a really large diameter, if you think like a Condor or a Zephyr or something, the only thing that we have that's wider than a mid-range for us is the Aviator. Otherwise, we don't have really wide diameter discs. But most of our mid-ranges, with the exception of like the Suspect, the Harp. I mean, the Harp is more putter to me than mid-range, but they're both speed 4. Those are regular like diameter that you'd see on a putter or driver or whatever. Most of our other mid-ranges are wider diameter.
You ever have those words that when you say them over and over again, or you hear them a lot, they just sound weird?
They sound
Diameter.
weird.
Diameter.
I-
Diameter.
That happens to me a lot.
Diameter.
That happens to me a lot when I see a word that like I haven't typed in a while. I'll type it out and be like, wait, what?
Is that right?
Yeah, it is. And it's always like mundane words, but I don't know. It's weird. Weird.
All right, next question comes from Ed Root. Hello, DeGam. In a tournament a few months ago, including AJ Risley, Calvin Heimberg, and others, AJ threw his upshot and it landed directly under the basket. Then Calvin makes his putt. Before Calvin could remove his disc from the basket, AJ then lifts Calvin's disc from the inside the basket and then lets go of it. AJ counts this as his putt. AJ then retrieves his disc from below the basket and Calvin gets his disc. Did AJ make a legal putt? Can you use another person's disc? Wait, what? Are you sure you watched what?
So
I think he
picked up-
just
AJ threw his upshot and it landed directly under the basket. Then Calvin, before Calvin could remove his disc from the basket, AJ then lifts Calvin. Oh, I see. So he used, technically that's okay, right?
Yeah, that's okay. The
Yeah,
rules
you
don't
can
say
u-
anything that you can't do.
Yeah, you don't just, the reason you mark your disc is so that if there's a confusion of whose disc is what, you can identify and you say that's mine because that's my mark on there. You're not saying that's legally mine and that's the only disc I can use. So technically, yes, he could grab Calvin's disc, use his lie, which was his disc under the basket, as his lie and his mark for his lie, and make his putt.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that's it.
All right, next question comes from Sean J.
Oh, hold on. Mr. Drew says, doesn't the Beetle fall into Superclass? The Beetle is a little bit wider. Thank you for reminding me. The Beetle and Bite are both slightly wider than mid-ranges. They are PDGA legal, so you can use them during the round. But they're not, They don't. They feel more like beach frisbees. They fly well, very well, in fact.
Does the Superclass just mean large diameter?
Yeah, and
Okay.
heavy. You can go up to
okay.
200 grams with a superclass disc, I think.
Oh, gosh. Okay, this is a what-if scenario.
I like it.
Not sure if anyone has asked these two questions yet. As fans of the Chiefs, what discs do you feel would fit Patrick Mahomes if he took up disc golf? Second part, which would travel farther, Guthrie's backhand or Mahomes with a tomahawk? Keep up the good work.
Guthrie throws far.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. Mahomes could pretty much do anything that he wants, and it'd be pretty good, I think.
What
He's-
game was
he's a
we were
solid
watching? I can't remember
athlete.
what game we were watching. I was over at Jeremy's, and Mahomes had to jump in the air and jump and threw, and it was still accurate. Went straight to the player. Numbers, boom.
He crazy.
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah, so probably I mean, with an athlete like that, you're gonna you would think he needs our most overstable stuff. So that would probably be like an enforcer, even a Lucid X enforcer, and then he'd probably putt with a Warden if I had to guess. That's just a guess. Total guess here, not sure, but that sounds right.
All right, next one comes from Marcus. He says, "Hello, holy trinity of disc golf. I've worked a lot on my putting lately and are getting quite comfortable and confident on shorter putts, but when I move out to 25 feet or more, I struggle hard. I either do it sort of calmly and the disc goes slow and hyzers hard, or try and push harder and the disc just drops out of the sky like a stone. Any advice?" And then he adds, "I am a push putter." What do you got, Paige?
Man, okay, number one, it seems mental at that point. I mean, if you're telling yourself, man, it's either going to go short or drop, I would just try to shake those thoughts off, number one. One thing I learned reading Zen Golf, which is a really good book, I recommend it, is everybody has negative thoughts. Even Paul Macbeth sometimes gets those negative feelings. Just take a deep breath and take a step back. The book described it as like kind of letting it pass by or float by. So, take an extra second, take a step back and pretend like it's one of those shorter putts and be confident. Because you said you started to feel comfortable. So just kind of take a second, let those thoughts and let's say your past experiences kind of pass and just kind of focus. But in terms of, I guess, like physically, practice. I had the same problem. I was close inside, but that tester range, 25 feet, I was not doing good. So literally, I mean, I had the luxury of just having the time to practice since I'm a professional disc golfer, but practice as much as you can because after a certain point, even if you are nervous stepping up to a putt, a 25 footer, they will go in. I had that experience this past year at US Women's. The weeks prior, I just putted every day because before that, my putting was terrible. And so once US Women's came by, all that experience had helped me. And
Right.
Of course I was nervous on those putts, all the scores are tight and I was still able to execute. So just keep practicing like you've been doing. It seems like you're getting that confidence in the closer putts. I promise if you stick to it, it'll extend out further in the circle.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Zen, what is it called?
Zen Golf.
Zen Golf. Based on a podcast we recorded maybe 10 episodes ago, another book you should look up is A Motivational Quotes from Dr. Seuss.
Okay. All right.
It will be very helpful.
Okay,
We
hey,
found that
listen.
wait.
Bobby was reading these last week, or not last week, a while ago. And I was like, he started reading Dr. Seuss stuff, and I was like, come on, dude. And then the more he read, I was like, that's a fantastic idea for disc golf. That applies to the mental. So you got to check it out. But
Check
yeah,
it out.
Zen Golf's a good one. I'm glad you're reading it.
And motivational quotes from Dr. Seuss. Anthony, we got any more speak pipe?
We have 4.
4.
We
Let's
got to go.
sock it to me.
First one is from Ian.
Ian.
What's up, DeGamily family? How are you 3 Mustacheteers doing today?
The
This
Gamily
is Ian
family. I
from
like
Fort
that.
Worth, calling in with another brain buster for you. My wife and I happen to be huge Avengers fans. In fact, we named one of our dogs Marvel.
Oh.
So I have an Avengers-themed question for you, gentlemen. Bobby,
Yes.
if you happen to lose the Deputy and the Renegade, Robert, you happen to lose the Raider and the Warden,
I'm not playing it.
and Eric, if you happen to lose the EMAC Truth and a Trespass, your trespasses, during Thanos' snap,
Oh.
what trilogy discs would each of you gentlemen pick in order to replace those lost discs in your bag? Anyway, keep it real, and bye.
All right, so-
Oh my gosh.
Kidding. I have
Alright.
asthma. I can't hold my breath that long to finish up.
He chokes out.
But for real. Bye.
All right, so just for the unlearned of Avengers, there's a part where Thanos snaps his finger when he has the I'm going to get
Bejeweled glove.
Yes.
Bejeweled.
Bedazzled.
That's even better. Bedazzled. Yeah.
He eliminates half of the population, half the
Yeah,
people.
see, so I got that reference in your face.
Yes. Yeah. And so I guess that's what he's getting at as he snaps his finger and that goes away. So what do you say for me, the Deputy and the Renegade?
Yeah, yours are gone.
I would grab a Swan 2 Reborn. Ooh. Boom. And then for the Renegade, I'd probably stick with the Trespass because if I got a pretty beat-in Trespass, that'll fly nice for me. And then if a nice, stable Trespass, then that's good for the win.
Doxin in the chat says Robert loses the Warden and quits to become a pro pickleball player. That's not far off.
Right. I mean,
disregard the pro part because like I'm definitely not there. Probably won't ever be. But I would just quit if the Warden didn't exist. Next question. I'm joking.
What would it be for Paige? It
yeah,
would be the Judge and
Probably the Ballista Pro.
oh,
That's
yeah. All right, so
dead.
Judge is gone. You can't ever putt with the Judge. What would you? No,
You're dead.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, the Getaway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Ballista Pro is probably your go-to like distance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's got to be. So okay, Judge is gone. What do you grab?
Oh man, I don't. That's a hard question. I can't. Okay, definitely not the Warden.
Dang it! I looked over at Bobby like she's gonna say the Warden. It's gonna be awesome.
Just out of spite.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
No. Man. Maybe the Crown or the Gauntlet because they kind of feel similar,
Okay.
similar stability. Good throwing putters, both of them.
Okay, Ballista Pro.
Man.
Gone.
Bye.
Probably my Biofusion Enforcers.
Okay.
Those are pretty money. So.
There you go. Now we forgot one
Yeah,
on
what
you.
are
What was
yours?
Warden and Raider would be are the ones you said.
The
I
Raider,
couldn't
that's
use.
right.
So for the Raider, I'd probably go back to Ballista Pros. I like those a lot. They're just
They're
really
good.
good.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Did I say my putter or
Wow.
not, dude?
I thought you said. Oh, you didn't replace it. That's right. You just
Yeah,
said
I just
you-
quit and
you
played
give up.
pickleball.
Right. That's right.
Man, the Maiden would be up there. Really like
Those
how the
feel
Maiden
good.
feels. Yeah, maybe the Mercy, or maybe the Keystone. God, I don't know, man. Let's just hope. Doc Zen, $2 super chat says, let's not even pretend we lost the Warden. I'm in on that. I agree, Doc. Thank you. Thanks for the 2, by the way.
All right. This next one is from Bobby from Morris, Minnesota.
Nice.
Minnesota.
There are other Bobbies out there, huh?
I thought it was just the one.
Yeah. He says questions about marking your lie. Oh, he gives a web address for a diagram to help. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go to the web address. I have a U-shaped hole, and there are massive trees between me and the basket in the middle of the U. So the U is the fairway.
Okay.
If my tee shot doesn't make it to the bend, then he references the diagram, yellow and circle and image. Where is my lie technically? Is it in? I don't know if this is going to work on the reader.
That's fine.
Okay. He says, is it in line with the basket, behind the disc, the red square in the image? Or can I continue to throw up the fairway, but my lie wouldn't be in line with the basket, blue square in the image?
Assuming that there are no Mandos, your lie is always directly between the disc and the basket, regardless of if there are trees in the way. So if it was a straight up U-shaped hole, right, and you're throwing from the left side of it trying to get to the right side and you hit an early tree, it would be like your lie might look like, if you're still throwing down the fairway before it gets to the bend, your lie might look like you're placing your foot on the outside, like left side of the disc, but that's where it's supposed to be because that's where the basket is.
Yep.
That would be a ridiculous hole. Don't do it, but that would be the answer. As long as there are no Mandos. If there are Mandos, then your lie until you pass the Mando is pointing to the Mando. That's where you have to play from.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm looking at the image that, I did end up go to the image to look at it, and sure enough, it does. Even if you can't throw over the trees, that's where your lie is. All right, let's try one more speak pipe. What do you got, Anthony?
This is from
Jordan.
Or block with a Doom Whisperer.
Whoa.
Leg crab.
Try again.
Hang on.
Hanging on.
I don't know what Jordan sent in. Let's go ahead and skip.
We're gonna go to the next one.
And this is going to be from Chandler.
This one's from Chandler.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man crew. This is Chandler from Louisiana. I just had a quick question about a comparison with a certain disc that I have. I'm fairly new, and many years ago I was given an old bag by my stepfather that just had a bunch of mixed discs in it and stuff like that. I've been working to switch over to the dynamic discs brand because I fell in love with you guys' marketing, your pros, your discs, and everything like that. So
We've fallen in
I've
love
started to
with you
transition most of my stuff to dynamic discs. But the one disc that I want to get a comparison of first, because it is by far my farthest thrown driver and the one that I can control the most, I'm probably going to keep it in the bag until whatever I get to replace it gets worked in a bit. But it is a pretty old champion Valkyrie from Innova that I can put on a little bit of hyzer. I can get it to stand up, fly straight, or turn over a little bit, but it always finishes to the right. I am a lefty, so I was just curious what you guys think a good replacement, or not really a replacement, but comparable disc in your lineup would be to a champion Valkyrie. As far as I have right now, I have the beginner pack for DD, and the only other driver I have from you guys is a Maverick. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Thanks for all you do.
Did you ever throw the Valkyrie, Paige?
No.
No?
It's never a Valkyrie thrower.
Oh, okay.
I did. It was my first disc ever.
It was one of my first discs, too.
Yeah. I haven't thrown one in forever. I would say probably the Escape is something along those lines, something that will, if you're a lefty, it's going to start out on hyzer, stand up to flat, then work to the left a little bit, and then just kind of make its way back over to the right. You might also try the Vandal in that slot. Both of those, I think, are really good options for you.
Yeah, but the Escape will go a little further. Escapes have a lot of nice glides, so probably get it to go pretty far.
Yeah, they do. We got one more speak pipe, Anthony, I think.
This one is from Anonymous.
Anonymous. Keep your hand on the pause button.
Saw dudes. Colby here. I'm a local guy. I grew up in Cottonwood Falls. Played in Emporia quite a bit. First of all, I just want to say thank you for everything you guys have done for disc golf. It's pretty cool to run into a random person on the disc golf course, and whether they're a seasoned player or a new player, they've at least heard of you guys or seen the double Ds out there.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. Also, thank you for running all these tournaments, local tournaments, fundraiser events, down to the GBO. Just got registered for that, and I'm psyched. Really, the only thing I'm on here to say is I'm not trying to throw shade at the truth, but I'm here to give the verdict its rightfully deserved credit. That disc is amazing.
Yes,
I do. It's cool that it came from the truth, but I like it better. No offense, EMAC. Just want to see what you guys think about that. Kind of wondering why a pro hasn't slapped their name on that one yet. Thanks, guys.
So yeah, if you're trying to figure out what he means by the verdict came from the truth. When Eric McCabe first was getting a signature disc, when we had our discs coming from Latitude 64, they'd sent over a disc and they said, "This is what we think would be good for you." Eric threw it and said, "This is a great disc, but this isn't what I was looking for."
It's more overstable than he was looking for.
Yeah, it was a little more overstable than he was looking for. So we were like, don't get rid of this because it's an amazing disc. So we decided to name it Verdict. And actually some collectors out there that would have what we call a truth-tooled verdict, meaning it is a verdict in the shape of it, in the mold of it, but underneath it says truth because, like I said, it was originally going to be the truth. So, yes, I actually bag a Verdict. I love it for I have a suspect when I know I need it to fade hard, but when I don't want it to fade quite as hard and I need to go a little bit straighter, I have a Verdict. And I actually have a prototype Verdict. It's probably worth some money, but I throw it, and it's probably not worth as much anymore. But yeah, I love the Verdict. I have one in my bag, and I always want to have one in my bag.
Yeah, you've had your name on the Verdict.
I did. I had the Lucid X Verdicts last year, and they're super popular. I love the Verdict. It's been in my bag since it came out. It's one of my go-tos, my go-to upshot disc, for sure.
Yeah,
I love it.
And I think you may see someone's name on the Verdict this next year.
Exclusive.
I'm not going to say who. It might be Bobby's.
You never know.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You never know. That was it for Speak Pipe Correct, Anthony. All right, let's do one more. If you're on YouTube and you're watching, this is your opportunity. You want to ask a question of Paige Shue. Put your questions in the YouTube chat, and we will get to those in the after show. I'm going to see if I can open up Google Form and get one last question from Adam. I currently bag max weight recoils, special edition, and opto. I get 410 to 425 on a good pull. I throw on a flat release and they fly straight as an arrow with a moderate finish. I'm now looking to add some distance. I've tried some other drivers, but nothing is really earth-shattering. So my question is, if you were in this situation, would you look for a lighter weight or a beat-in one to flippy to try to hyzer flip? Try a more overstable disc to anhyzer release? And that's how he ended his question.
Nice.
Yes.
Good question.
So,
what do you think?
I didn't get the second part of that question, but the first part, if I were me, I'm so
what would
sorry.
you do, Paige, if you were you?
Okay, listen.
I mean, if I were me, I don't know what I'd do.
If that were me, I would personally go to lighter weight just because it's easy to replace. You don't want to work really hard, get one of your discs beat in, boom, you lose it in the lake. What are you gonna do? So I'd recommend maybe doing lighter weights just in case you know maybe it starts off exactly how you want it. If you lose it, you can easily replace it. So that would kind of be my tip for that. What was the second question?
If he's using recoils right now, they're going pretty straight
yeah.
and finishing a little bit left. He's looking to gain a little bit more distance. Does he need to switch up the disc, or does he need to try throwing it on anhyzer a little bit more? What do you think?
Man, dealer's choice, I guess.
I know that I've heard some pros, now this is obviously probably just depending on the pro, but some pros will say if you're wanting to get something different from a disc, you don't let the disc do the work. In other words, choose a different disc. Don't try to get all fancy because you're adding in all kinds of variables to your throw. So you don't want to do all the anhyzer or hyzer release too much of an extreme, because there should be a disc to kind of fill that spot. Now, obviously, that's just some pros. I'm sure there's pros out there that do all that and do okay.
It's good to have good control over your angles, like totally good, and to be able to throw every disc in your bag on anhyzer, every disc in your bag on hyzer, and know what it's going to do. That's good. But if you're most comfortable with kind of a flat pull through, I would recommend trying out something like the Ballista Pro. It's a little faster than a recoil. The recoil is a speed 12, I believe. Ballista Pro is going to be a 14, and that's just going to give you a few extra feet, 20 or 30. And maybe even more. They have potential to go a very, very long way. But that'd be the disc that I would check out for you.
All right, so Paige, you answer that question. If you were you, what if you were somebody else? How would you? No, I'm teasing. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Disc Golf Answer Man, and thank you to Paige for being our special guest on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, we loved hearing your knowledge and hearing from you and learning about your
man.
tour schedule and things going on in your life. Where can people follow you to follow your story more? I know you do stuff on Instagram and stuff, so what is that?
Yeah, so my Instagram is at Paige Bjerkes. Probably be changing that
what are you
maybe
gonna
soon.
do? How are you
I
gonna
know,
do that?
I haven't figured it out. How do I figure? I don't know what I'm gonna do yet.
I think you have to email it in, or you have to.
You can change it. I just don't know how. What it's gonna be. Because people look up.
Paige Shue, Paige Shue.
PBS, you're welcome.
But I also have a Facebook page. Just look up Paige Bjerkes, and I'm there.
Yeah.
Are you crushing it on Instagram? You have lots of followers now.
I do. I'm trying to get more, but it's hard.
How many do you have right now?
22.7.
What's up?
It's up
1,000,
there.
not 22.7 followers.
Yeah.
A little more than that.
Dang, that's awesome, dude.
Who's that 0.7 guy?
I'm working on it, trying to post more, do more hashtags and stuff. Just trying to be more, I guess, out there with more than just disc golf. I feel like people kind of want to know other stuff too, so I'm trying to integrate other stuff.
Sure.
I liked your picture that you put up after you said how I feel after field practice and 20-mile-an-hour winds, and it was just you laying on your back like you're dead.
That's we were Grady and I were practicing for GBO because we were here a week or two early, and it was so. And we're like, it's gonna be like this. We need to practice. And I'm glad we did, because it was out. Man, that last round was so windy at GBO.
Yeah.
That was a crazy round.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Cool. All right, guys. Again, thanks for tuning in, and thank you to Paige. Make sure you follow her on Instagram and on Facebooks. YouTubes, you got your questions coming in? I hope so, because we're going to join you on the after show.
Ooh.
See you in a few seconds. Don't end the stream. Oh, okay. I thought it was ending the stream. All right, so we're going to take a quick
I don't
break.
need to move. I just need to let my head breathe.
Yeah, so YouTube, hang tight, YouTube. We're just going to kind of take a breather. Yeah, we take a breather, Paige, if you need to. Do you need to use the facilities at all, or just...
Does it stay live?
Yeah, we're
Stays
still
alive,
live,
yes.
so yeah, don't start
here.
don't start screaming or yelling at people like you normally do.
Yeah, don't say all the cuss words.
Yeah, all the cuss words that you normally say.
Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Okay, so earlier, Paige, you said you're growing your hair out for real. So I'm going to see less of your face when I take pictures of you now.
I mean, have you noticed it's short?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay, that's true.
I did cut it. I needed to get rid of the split ends.
Are you sticking with the keeping it down while you play?
I don't think so.
Are you going to put it up?
I think so.
Oh,
I think
nice. We're going to get to see your
I'm
face.
trying to just rebrand everything.
Dude,
Are you-
New year,
total rebrand.
new year, new me,
New-
name,
new last
everything.
name.
Paige Shue doesn't.
It's 2020 is going to be a good year.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
is.
it. A lot
That's
of new
right.
things happening.
Do you know that whenever you put your headphones on like that and the left ear is on your right ear, it makes
Does
me
it
want to
drive you
die
crazy?
inside? Yes.
Do I do it wrong?
No.
Are you sure? Where does it say it?
Will
I'm
it?
not- I'm
Will,
not
I wonder if
sure.
it'll feel
The
different.
cord
if I-
should be on your left ear.
Oh. Okay.
There you go.
It's fixed.
Wow, it feels so more comfortable.
Well, yeah. I'm sure it feels the same.
It feels pretty much the same.
And since we're not
All right,
doing
so I
like
guess we'll
full
take it.
stereo,
We'll wait for Anthony to get back from his break, and we'll. Anthony, no, you're fine, Danny. It's okay.
Johnny V has a good after show question, so I'm excited to discuss that with Paige.
Sam says, Bobby, how was your trip to New York? Well, we'll wait till with the show starts.
New
We'll
York?
record the show. Did I say New York?
Yes, you
I
did.
saw N, and I thought New York. New York. Oh my God! Did you see what's the temperature outside? It is 66 degrees.
It's beautiful out right now.
Yeah, it's beautiful out. Next 2 days are going to be really nice. It's supposed to rain in Oklahoma. Hopefully that stays away.
When are you going?
Tomorrow I'm going to look at a house at 9 a.m. I'm thinking that'll take, a half hour? And then, like, tonight I'm going to be all packed up, ready to go. And then as soon as I'm done looking at the house, I'll swing by, pick up little Sebastian, and then we'll take off for Oklahoma. It'll be about a 3-hour drive, because I'm going straight through to Owasso to pick up Eli. And then we're going to go play some. He has been, like, 8 up
About disc golf.
about
He's ready.
disc golf. He has been watching our videos. I know, didn't that picture turn out good?
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, so he's been getting into disc golf, asking me about the Renegade, the Witness. He's got a list of about 30 discs he says he needs. He wants to practice
about
basket. Yeah. My daughter was texting me saying, "I can't believe he wants this. He wants this." I'm like, he sounds like every adult disc golfer I
Yeah,
know that
that's right.
discovers this sport.
Let's get it.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and hit
Ready to go,
record on the
Anthony?
after show.
Record it on the sling too.
No. Welcome to the after show.
That was nowhere near as fun as they normally are.
Well, what do you wait till you see what I do with it though?
Okay, that's fine.
It may not be as like
Have you
slow,
heard
hippy
some
hoppy.
of the mix downs that he's done? Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, most of the time, and you're live, I assume you don't go back and listen to the after show. You should, because what Bobby does to start the show, the music that he creates, it's pretty incredible. Just telling you.
I think it turns out pretty cool. It's fun to put together.
Yeah, we have a good
You should
time.
check out at least just the intro. All right, so we are in the after show segment, and this is where we kind of chill, we kind of lay back, we let our hair down if we have it. Right now, Paige is the only one that really can let their hair down because Robert will refuse to let his hair down.
My hair's mostly down.
Right, it's mostly up down.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
And we just kind of chill. But since we have Paige as our special guest, hopefully we've got some questions on here from Paige for Paige.
I've got a good one from Johnny V.
Yes.
He says, Paige tends to play a more conservative game. Does she think that she needs to be more aggressive to compete or just execute better?
Oh,
Man, that's-
hard questions coming at you.
After show is a different story. man. You gotta be on
no
your
holds
toes.
barred. Yeah.
Okay. Repeat the question one more time.
Paige
We do
tends
not
to play,
do that on the after. Oh, wait.
Paige tends to play a pretty conservative game. Does she think that she needs to be more aggressive to compete or just execute better?
Both maybe.
Yes.
No, I think another thing this offseason I guess I'm working on is that more aggressive play. You know, playing conservative is good and important. Obviously, I've won some tournaments doing so. But you know, you don't break records. You don't do anything kind of crazy unless you kind of go for some shots. So I'm excited to be working on that this season. You know I have the talent and the skill to do it. I just gotta trust myself and just go for it. You know, just send it. You know, like the saying is.
I mean, we did talk about that. You mentioned that briefly when we did the GBO live registration. That you're going to be a little more aggressive. What does that mean? Like, does that mean normally when you would lay up, you're going to go for bigger, longer putts? Does that mean
You're
you're
pretty
gonna
aggressive
switch
on putts right now.
Yeah.
This
You're
would
gonna
probably be more on driving.
on drive? Yeah, so on your drives, you're going to switch that up a little bit. What does that look like?
Just less putters. I know I'm known for it.
Okay.
A lot of like landing zones, which is still important, and it's still something I plan to continue to work on, so I have it in my back pocket in case I need it. But just trusting my mid-range and drivers more. Just knowing that I'm going to hit my lines and get in the fairway, and just knowing I got to get down further on the fairway if I'm going to birdie or make up strokes on people like Katrina or Paige who throw really far.
Yeah.
So just kind of that. Just working on my drivers and really figuring out how to do them the best I can, I guess.
Yeah, you're working distance right now as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always something I'm working on, to be honest. It's
Sure.
hard. It's hard to do.
Real quick before it disappears, 99 Universal Soulfist says, Paige, you are my daughter's favorite disc golfer. She's 7 and Team Judge. Melanie says hi.
Oh,
Nice.
hello, Melanie. You're so sweet.
Awesome. Tyler says, could you guys talk a little bit about air plastic and the pros or cons to consider looking at buying a couple new discs after work? Do you throw any air discs?
Not currently. I used to throw the Air Ballista Pro, especially last year. I had that in my bag. It just, it just felt like it went a little further than the plain Opto ones, I guess. Maybe it was mental, because, lightweight, you think lightweight, it'll go further. But other than that, I never really use them. What I liked the Opto Ballista Pro, sorry, I call them Beef Pros.
Opto Beef Pro.
Is that it just felt like it was coming out a lot faster because it was a lot lighter, but it was still able to handle the power and speed and the angles I was putting it on. So, if you like the feel of the air plastics, we make them for a reason. They have that lighter feel. You can still put that power behind them and still trust the stability. So,
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
As far as air plastic goes for me, I tend to shy away from it a little bit just for timing purposes. For me, a lot of times it's not worth the 20 or 30 extra feet I might get to sacrifice the consistency or even accuracy. But I've seen some people do incredible things with air discs. Like the first time we threw the Air Sheriff, Bobby threw it and was like, yo, this is the real deal. So
That's what I said. Yo, this is the real deal.
he said it exactly like that. So it can be really good for some people, especially if you do have that little bit slower arm speed and you're looking for a little bit of extra distance. Great for that. Not so great for the wind because the heavier disc is not going to be affected by the wind quite as much, but you might check those out.
Oh, that's right. Danny said this will be tested on the next Physics of Flight. I remember he's
he
working
just
on
did
some
some
stuff
on
like that.
that.
Yeah.
The Viper 217 says, how important do you think shoes are for disc golf? I get heckled with my group because I have old shoes with not a lot of grip. Still kick their butts, though.
Ooh.
I think
nice.
shoes are pretty personal in disc golf. Some people like really aggressive tread, and then some people don't like much tread at all, and it's just what works for you.
I like blue ones.
So you're welcome for the valuable insight from Bobby. What do you use? I know that you're sponsored by Keen. Talk about the shoes that you wear when you play disc golf.
Yeah, shoes are pretty important. I am sponsored by Keen. I love their shoes. They have the more grippy bottoms, and they're kind of more of like a hiking shoe, so they're more durable and able to handle more of the tougher terrain that we have to, face on tour. But for me, I like the kind of heavier feel. Keen actually has some disc golf shoes specifically for toe drag. I know a lot of people do that. I don't personally drag my toe, but I do know a lot of people who do. And for me, I just like to trust the grip. I hate playing on wet tee pads. There's nothing more that messes with your mind than a friggin' wet tee pad. So I do my best to use the shoes that are the grippiest and work the best. So yeah, it is all mental. For me, it's if I have to deal with certain types of tee pads. I know they're going to be more slick than others. I'll bump up to like more of a boot type of Keen.
Yeah.
Kind of just more grippy with better tread, I guess.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Ramos says, for Paige, besides your husband, who would you want to be your touring partner? If you can't answer that, what do you guys look for in touring partners?
Man, if I could choose any touring partner, it'd be my best friend, Erin. Obviously, she doesn't play disc golf. A shout out if she's watching. I met her in college, and she's always supported me since day one. But I mean, in touring partners, you want someone who is laid back, kind of like go with the flow. You gotta, when you're on the road, you can't ask for too much. You're going to sleep on couches. You might have to stay in hotels. That's not a fancy lifestyle. But someone who is excited about the game just like you are. If you're with someone who's kind of negative, like let's say they had a bad tournament and they're pissy and they're going to want to play disc golf, it's going to kind of rub off on you. So you want someone who has kind of the same vibe, the same feeling, and who's also kind of laid back. So,
Heck yeah. Are you guys playing Great Lakes Open here in Michigan?
Yes.
Sweet.
Well, yes. Yeah, for sure. Sorry. Yeah, we are.
All right. Sam says, to paraphrase Paige, once you throw a putter over 200 feet, your game will change. What would another game-changing milestone be?
Honestly, a forehand. And especially in the women's field, there's not a lot of solid forehand players, And at this point in the game, you don't really need I don't know. You look at the top FPO players like Paige, Katrina, Sarah Hokum. They all have really good forehands. And so if you're able to have that and really be able to rely on it and use it off the tee and, tricky situations, it's definitely going to help because not everything's going to be right-hand, backhand friendly. So being able to adapt and having that forehand would help a lot.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen lots of questions about Paige Pierce. You okay if I say a couple sentences about that?
Yeah.
All right. So just to address, I'm sure everybody knows by now, Paige is not going to be with Dynamic Discs next year. I'm sure that's probably why a lot of you guys are watching. Well, a lot of you guys are watching because Paige Shue is on here.
I hope so.
But yeah, let me just say kind of where we're at on that. We put out a statement about that, releasing Paige from her agreement. We're not happy to see Paige go. Paige is a fantastic competitor. She's won the most tied for one of the most world titles of any competitor that's ever played. She is fierce and strong and just crushes it out there. She's an incredible competitor. She decided she wanted to do other things, and that's where we are. And so that's why we wrote the way that we did. We don't want it to come off as cold or robotic because when in her video when she said we're family, that's true. That's how we felt for years. She decided to do something else. We said, all right, you can go do something else. And for all the people online who are saying that they know how the situation went down or anything like that, you don't. So you can speculate all you want to. People are going to speculate because it's the internet. But what you need to know is that she's going to be doing something different. We are sad, but we wish her the best. That's pretty much that. Is that fair? I mean,
yeah, that's fair. That's good.
If I said anything dumb, probably. I mean, that's kind of my thing.
When I hit, as soon as we hit record.
But yeah, for all the people who are making and even before that, but for all the people who are speculating that it's definitely this thing or it's definitely that thing, you just don't know. Okay, you don't. So if you're a fan of hers, follow her. If you're a fan of ours, follow us. If you're a fan of both, you can be both. That's the beautiful thing about disc golf
and life.
Yeah. So. There's that.
Here's a question I want to hear Paige's response to. What's your opinion on social? Because it's going to be, but this will start happening once tournament season kicks in. When I say tournament, I mean Disc Golf Pro Tour and NTs. I understand there's tournaments all the time. Mm-hmm. What's your opinion on social media pages spoiling tournament results the day the tournament ends? I feel like it ruins the excitement for the viewer and the hard work put into the coverage. Now, obviously, at the big tournaments, you're there, Paige, right?
Yeah.
So you know what's happening, whatever. But maybe if there was a couple that you missed while you were wedding planning and stuff like, were you okay to know as soon as it ends, or would you rather have watched it and had the excitement of?
I mean, for me, I like to know right then and there.
Yeah.
When I wasn't playing tournaments, I was watching live scoring. I was
Right.
watching UDisc, live coverage, everything. Even though I wasn't playing, I'm still in on everything. I think it's kind of ridiculous to expect people to not post about it or not. You know what I mean? Like, let's say I just won a big tournament. Am I not allowed to post? Oh my gosh. After I won Vegas, I was like, oh my gosh, I drained this 40-foot putt. That was so cool.
That was so
if we're
sick,
excited about something as players or even as fans, like if someone's proud that, like my mom, as soon as I won, praise the Lord, Paige won, and it went all over. You just, if you don't want to see it, maybe stay off social media.
Yeah,
I know it can be hard to do.
It's your responsibility. If you don't want it to be spoiled,
Yeah.
you take steps for it to not be spoiled.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I know most people want to know. I mean, I wanted to know, and I'm sure a lot of people do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Am I Romantic says, Robert and Paige, how do you take power off of your standstill to hit those tweener upshots that are too far to jump putt, but just inside where a soft backhand should go? I've been overthrowing those.
Is he romantic?
I think that's what he's wondering.
Is he romantic?
Yeah. It's tough to say.
It's tough to say. Okay.
His
Anyway,
whole
sorry.
existence is a
It was just weird when you said that. Am I romantic? I thought for a second that was leading to a question about you being
that
romantic.
I was saying that?
Right.
Ladies. No, that's a joke.
Anyway,
I have
sorry, go ahead.
just the one lady in my life.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Okay, so I kind of had that problem too, that kind of weird tweener distance. One thing that kind of helped me is, I guess, using kind of less legs and a little more arm. For me, I use the Judge for that shot, and I know it's kind of overstable. So for those kind of tweener shots, I kind of put it up a little higher than normal with some Annie, and I know that the Judge is going to float and kind of fade out at the end. So I know there's some people that say, shorten your reach back. You don't necessarily have to change your power with your legs. Maybe shorten that reach back a little bit. Don't reach as far back, and kind of just relying on the kind of power that you can create with just that shortened reach back. And a good tip, or I guess a good thing for that is practice. When you're playing a casual round with your buddies and you make that mistake, let's say it goes too far, throw a couple extra up shots and get a feel for, what kind of shot do I need to throw at that distance.
Yeah, I like to put the nose up a little bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes if you throw a disc nose up and you're used to throwing it pretty level, the nose up disc is going to go this is way not scientific, but say 15 to 20% less far, right?
Prove your theory. Oh,
are we going to go outside right now?
yeah.
Okay, cool. It's perfect outside, so I'm interested. But I try to put the nose up just a little bit. That helps me kind of control that distance a little bit more. I usually can throw what feels comfortable without kind of fear of going too long on that. Let's see. Oh, people talking about shoes. Daniel says Calvin Heimberg shoes. And then there's another comment. How many years do you think Calvin has left in those Nike/ankles? Well, Nike's not very many because I think he probably gets new shoes somewhat regularly. But ankles, I mean, while his foot is rolling over, the bottom of his foot is still on the ground, even though the sole of his shoe is up on the side. So it looks like he's just breaking his foot, but really his shoe is just extremely flexible, and that's it. So hopefully lots of years. I think Calvin's a fantastic player. Let's see.
What is this one? Matthew says, thoughts on Disc Golf Pro Tour schedule release, actual Pro Tour events, and the test events newly named the Silver Series, and how the point accumulation works. Oh, okay. Now I get. Okay, so there's a few test locations. Do we know those off the top of our head?
No, I mean, we could look them up real quick.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
But I mean, it's
I know
some
what
that
means now. Yeah.
nice. It's some that are familiar tournaments to a lot of people. That they're just trying to see if they'd be a good Disc Golf Pro Tour event.
Is that kind of like saying beta? They
almost
the software release beta saying, okay, we want you guys, we need this to be tested on a bigger audience, so we're going to say beta, but you can't yell at us because we told you it was a beta.
Courtney Weekly says, "Hi Paige, I also have my degree in elementary ed, but I'm working in disc golf. Want to open a school for future world champs."
Yes, that'd be so cool.
Sweet. All right, we'll see you guys in a few years.
Have you thrown the Sergeant and the Bounty, the new discs?
No, I have not yet.
Okay, someone asked wanted more information on those two discs. We don't have a release date because really what we just got were really the, I guess for the lack of a better term, prototypes for us to check them out. So that we are very early in the stages of these particular discs. I mean, we kind of have an idea, but we're not going to tell you.
They're pretty good, though.
They're pretty good, though.
You're going to like them. BC Heiser says, Paige, do you have plans for the future when you or your husband stop competing professionally? What does life look like after professional disc golf?
Wow, that's a deep question.
So
Dang, man. You crazy.
Hopefully that doesn't happen for a long time. I'm pretty young and I want to break records and win more worlds. So hopefully at that point, disc golf is big enough to where I can stop playing and still be able to support, ourselves.
Sure.
Both Grady and I are still players. We'll probably still try to work in disc golf. Maybe we'll go back to school. I'm not quite sure, but I don't think kids are in our future, if that's what you're asking.
like tomorrow or whatever.
Or ever.
Okay.
Or ever.
So,
whoa, wait a minute. What?
Dang,
so
okay.
no kids ever, you think?
I hope not.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, I like it.
Zachary says,
I mean, I like kids. I'm not saying I don't like kids. I'm just saying I respect your choices.
Zachary says, how's
don't like
Black
kids.
Friday looking this year? Zachary, it's
Crazy.
looking fantastic. We have some good discs that will be released, as well as mystery boxes again.
For real?
Oh, yeah.
Is there any way that the marketing and media could know about this if you're watching and you are working in dynamic discs?
What was that?
The store
sorry,
doesn't
what?
even know about it.
We've
so.
talked about these
I
discs.
know. I'm just
Okay,
teasing.
I was going to say, please, come on.
I'm being facetious.
Let's see.
What would be an Innova Leopard be comparable to in the trilogy lineup?
Maverick?
Mhm.
Yeah, Maverick. Yeah. Flippy
Yeah.
fairway. Something kind of slower.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm going to... Oh, okay. Hey, do we have the Keep It Real glasses?
They are right behind me.
Missing letter
the little
wants
nose piece fell off. Hold on.
Oh, dang. Missing letter wants Paige to put them on just for the memes.
Just for the memes.
Yeah,
Okay.
just for the memes.
We're looking.
It is
for
not surprising that these broke. They were very cheap. But
All right, you're gonna have to put them on without the nose piece.
here you go, man.
Put them on without the nose piece.
take off-
If you're an audio listener, you are
Yeah,
missing out.
You can
on
take off the headphones, but you have to put them back on after that.
I don't want to break anything.
Here you go, missing letter. This is for the memes.
Get ready.
It's gotta go.
All right, so she's put it on the Keep It Real glasses.
Dude.
Nice.
Now you're ready.
No, I'm right.
All right.
Perfect.
From now on, her
Keeping
answers
it
will
real.
be real. She'll be
Real
keeping it real.
answers.
Dang. Oh, here you go. JVD says the Silver Series, that's the Pro Tour test events.
Yep.
Gives players 25% of tour points. So they get the regular tour points from.
Plus 25% more? Less.
They get the regular tour points from Disc Golf Pro Tour events, and then just a quarter of those points if they play at the Silver Tour events.
Oh, so they're on
I don't know
sale.
how I feel about that.
What? You're
You're
killing
a
me.
discounted rate. No, that's less. It's worth less.
It's worth less, but still worth something.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So actually, they're paying more. If the
What?
I'm just playing.
Oh my
It-
gosh.
there's no change in the pay. Okay, Jesse says, how soon do you know what disc will
Do
be
you
in the
see how easy it
2020
is?
Trilogy Challenge? Sometime soon.
What was the question?
What discs are going to be in the 2020 Trilogy Challenge?
Oh,
We've been talking about it.
I know.
They're not completely decided yet,
No, they're not.
but we're close.
Paige, what is your wintertime practice routines? Anything out of the ordinary for putting and short game?
Gosh, you look good in this.
They're
Look
not
at
that comfortable, but that does look funny.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
No, nothing different. You know, it's kind of cold out here, but just putting as much as I can. And that's going to be like one of my main, I guess there's not really main focus, but putting you can practice when it's cold or windy or anything. So a lot of putting practice, up shots. You know, my parents have a decent sized backyard, so if I don't really want to go out to the park, I can do it there. But just getting repetition, and that's about it.
Nice. Hold on. There was a good one here. Give me just a second. I'm going to find it. Drew says, Paige, have you ever beaten Grady in a round, and did you poke fun at him for it?
That
we
was
do
like a
battle
loaded
a lot.
laugh.
Yeah. We do have battles a lot. I think I've beaten him a couple times. Yeah, I like to rub it in his face. But the really intense battles, we either tie or I lose. And I can't help it, but he's a good player. He's a good player,
good.
you know? So it's been a couple times where I was right there and then I choked. So,
Hate to see it.
you know.
Does he ever try to give you advice?
No, actually. Only when I ask him.
No, actually, he better not.
Yeah.
So I'll just let me just share a story from my life here of just one time that I made this mistake one time.
With Shay?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, we were out playing disc golf, right? Shay doesn't play disc golf very often, and this is when I was playing quite a bit. And she would ask on almost every hole, she'd be like, "What disc should I throw?" And I tell her which one I thought, and she'd say, "How should I throw it?" And I tell her what I thought, and then at one point, she picked a disc. She was like, and it was a pretty stiff headwind. She picked it, and she was like, "All right, I'm going to try this." I said, "Okay, that's cool. I don't think it's going to work well, but go for it, no problem." She's like, "Well, what do you think I should do?" So I told her. She said, "No, I want to do this." And for the benefit of my friend who was there, like one of our mutual friends, I said, "Shay, I'm a literal professional at this."
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, I promise this will not work out. It did not work out, but that was neither here nor there. It was funny. Both me and our friend laughed, but then I heard about it later. Yeah. It was. We laugh about it. Obviously, we laughed about it a couple minutes after, but she was like, "Come on, man." So anyway, don't do that.
Shay likes to keep it real.
Dude, Shay basically exclusively wears the Keep It Real glasses. She knows what the
She's
deal
pretty
is.
cool.
Yeah. Will there ever be a baseline anvil? TJ Laser says. TJ, stay tuned. That's all I have to say about that. It's very possible. Alex says, do you have a possible location for the stadium experience yet? We do have some possible locations. We are not in a position where we can share those yet. But there are multiple locations being discussed, all of which would be friggin' cool.
Awesome.
I can't remember if Jeremy mentioned the possible locations on the latest updates.
We're just gonna leave it alone.
So he didn't, Anthony? Okay, I couldn't remember. Okay.
Yes. So a couple of people here, Doc and Jerome says, and then Robert cried later. Yeah, that's correct. Yes. That was the moment he knew and you can complete the meme.
Gear
on your own.
Boggles, Paige, Bobby, Robert, Danny, Anthony. Anyone play any courses in Maine? If so, what's your favorite course? I have not played any courses in Maine.
I played one at Pleasant Hill. It's where Christy Stanley owns the pro shop up there. And most main courses are pretty wooded. This one was pretty open. It was really fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, I've never played.
Nice. Bunch of people are starting to suggest locations for our stadium events, and that's actually already happened on Facebook all the time. So as someone who checks out the comments on Facebook every single day, we have heard your suggestions, especially if you're going to suggest New Era Field in Buffalo, New York. I promise you, I liked over 300 comments of only New Era Field in Buffalo, New York.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. Just because you suggest it doesn't mean that we're going to be able to do it, but we will check it out.
Paige, do you prefer wooded golf or open course style?
I like wooded golf better. It requires better shots, and distance isn't that much of an advantage in the woods. So I like wooded golf. It's more satisfying to hit a line in the woods than,
I can't remember if you were kidding. I know this is kind of off topic, but I can't remember if you're kidding, Paige. But I believe one time you said something to somebody to the effect that roller shots are cheating. No, is that that you said that?
Yeah.
I'm excited for this.
Why was that your opinion that roller shots are cheating?
I don't know, man. It's old school. Discs belong in the air, not on the ground. You want to see them fly. You want to be able to manipulate them in the air. And now that I've gotten older and I've toured more, I realize it's a great utility shot, and I'd love to learn it. I've been working on it a little bit, but it is a very hard shot to learn. I don't know if it's just me that sucks or what it is. But,
so do you ever throw rollers at all in gameplay?
Heck no.
No.
But I've been trying. I've been practicing. Just for me, it's like it could be so terrible. Like if I try it, it could be great or it could be triple bogey.
What disc are you using right now?
Man, that's a good question. I've been trying a lot, just a bunch of flippy stuff, like some beat-in Trespasses, Fury.
Okay.
I try to really beat in Maverick, and I'm still trying to learn rollers and
results.
yeah.
All right, cool.
So I think it's IC22 Page. I think my next purchase is going to be a flat to overstable throwing putter. So which plastic judge do you prefer?
For throwing putters, well, my Paige Bierkes Fusion Judge
What?
double stamp. Woo. That is a great one. It's pretty flat. They beat in kind of quickly, so they'll have that nice straight finish for you. But I also really like throwing the classic plastic, which that sounds kind of weird, but I just love like the baseline and how it sits, how it just settles down straight. It's a pretty good option as well.
New Jerome has a hot take suggestion.
I saw that.
Rollers should be banned.
I already have that on the list of hot
it?
takes,
Oh, okay.
Jerome.
When are we going to do those again?
Well, when we don't have special guests on the show.
Geez, special guests.
What the
I'm
heck?
sorry.
So this is probably a good one to end on, if that's okay for you. I'm sure you have other things that you need to do. Okay. Nora says, Paige, any tips for introducing more ladies to the game?
Yeah, I get that question a lot.
Is that right?
Yeah. I guess one of my biggest tips is a ladies league. If you don't have one already, set one up, even if it's only a couple of you. A lot of women, when they're first introduced to the sport, it's with a bunch of guys, and it could be a little bit uncomfortable. So if you have a ladies league in your area, invite them out to go throw with other ladies. It's nice to feel like you're at the same level. You're not being judged. You're not being told what to do. You're just out having fun with girls. So if you don't already have a ladies league, I recommend trying to start one up. I know the ladies league here in Emporia has grown a ton. I used to not see that many women out on the courses practicing, but now, you see them everywhere. And I think it's because of that ladies league. They're getting more comfortable on the course with each other and with their game, and they're exploring more. So ladies league would be the way to go.
Yeah, man. That's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Would bringing potpourri help? I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Don't anybody put any bad comments.
You just had to do it, didn't you? I could tell you were sitting over there thinking of something and being like, hey, will this go or not? I'm going to go for it.
Oh my God.
I'm going to jump off that cliff. I'm
This
just
freaking
kidding.
guy.
I
Hey,
am
let
only
me
kidding.
let me toss in a quick plug for the On the Call podcast before we get out of here. I've heard a lot of people, some people in the chat here, but then some people on social media saying that they're really enjoying On the Call. If you haven't listened to it already, you can go to your favorite podcast app, whether that's iTunes Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you consume podcasts. Go there and search Disc Golf Answer Man, and the On the Call podcast will come up there. They're more of a mental game podcast. And this last week, I talked with Nico LaCastro, who's the newest signee to Westside Discs. Have gotten a lot of great feedback from that you can hear the motivation in his voice, and it's just really cool to hear how he's just stoked about competing this next year. We have one this coming Friday with Eric Oakley, and then we'll probably have a couple of weeks off as we've
probably
got
get that scheduled.
Yeah. We'll probably have at least 1 week off as we have Thanksgiving stuff, but I intend to have those throughout the off season just so you guys have some content. With Paige being here in town, I'm excited to do one with her as well, when she's available, because she's reading Zen Golf now, which means she's got some mental strategies to talk with you guys about. That's where I got a lot of my mental strategies from. So if you haven't checked them out already, on the call, search Disc Golf Answer Man on those podcast apps and you'll find it.
Philip asks, is this on Pandora Radio? I didn't know you could put podcasts on Pandora, so I have to look into that.
So the answer to that is no for now, Phil.
Yeah, so I'll look into that, see if we can get it on Pandora. So yes, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Check out On the Call, and that's a good segue to let you know that things are going to be changing a little bit for the Disc Golf Answer Man. We don't 100% know how that looks like, but we have kind of an idea. But we're going to try to be putting out, we're going to try to be putting out. Hey, listen.
Oh, because you ball.
We're going to try to put out some new content, some interesting segments. And that means here, probably when I'm done here, I'm going to turn off Google Forms.
Dang.
Or at least make some changes, because we have like 100 questions sitting in there waiting. And we're going to be a little more picky with our questions, because that segment's going to be a little bit shorter. We're going to have other things to talk about, and we're going to see a natural evolving of the Disc Golf Answerman podcast. So make sure you're subscribed. Paige, again, for this segment, thank you for sticking around and having some fun with us on the After Show. Follow Paige at Paige Bjerkas on Instagram. That might
BJERKAAS.
Yes,
nailed it.
Follow her on Instagram, and if you have, she's going to be at the store for the next few months. So if you have an order,
happy to sign it.
Yeah, she'll be happy to sign it. Put your request in the notes to have her sign it. Also, speaking of the store, shopping live with Dynamic Discs. If you did not watch the one with Eric Oakley and Robert McCall, go back on our YouTube channel and check that out. But if you want to see future ones, follow Dynamic Discs Emporia on Facebook. Follow those every Thursday at 4 p.m. Central. They go live. It's kind of our way of being your own little personal shopper. And I'm sure maybe Paige will make an appearance on there since she'll be there.
Yeah.
So get some advice from Paige on what disc you should get, and she will help you pick it out at the store.
That's it.
Is that it?
We did it.
Just like Travis says, we out of here.
We out of here.
We out of here.
Nailed it.
That's your cue, Anthony.
We gotta work on that, but that's good.
Okay,
that's good.
All right.
We out here, and also we out
are
here.
out of here.